What's up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new series here on Barely Legal in Web3. This series is called Recharge Monday. And Mondays, of course, are probably one of the toughest days of the week. But I decided to start this series to share with you some tips and insights that have helped fuel my journey from small town Connecticut towards this international lifestyle that I have now, which I'm really thankful for, living in Dubai and having my own business. And, I think one of the questions that people ask me the most is, how did you do it? And the real answer to that is that there is no secret recipe, but I do find that using certain tactics or strategies to really help myself on a personal level have been super helpful. So every Monday morning, I'll be providing these tips and insights along with some of my personal stories. I hope that it's very helpful for you all. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. If you're applying these in your life and it's working out, or if it's not working out, I'd love to hear how that's going. So let's get into it. Today, we're diving into the power of setting clear visions and ambitious goals. Let's get started. You're listening to Barely Legal in Web3. I'm your host, Jamilia Grier. This podcast is an unapologetic look at what's happening in tech from a lawyer's perspective. In addition to tech talk, each Monday I'll be sharing insights from my journey from lawyer in small town Connecticut to an entrepreneur in Dubai. Sound like fun? Go ahead and subscribe to make sure you never miss an episode. Now let's get into it. So I think if anyone were to look at my life and they were to choose what is probably one of the most fascinating things that has happened to me or interesting things that I've done, it's probably been the move from growing up in a very small-knit, small-town community and then transitioning into a lifestyle where I'm very global. For me, having an international lifestyle has always been one of the things that I have aspired to have or to create for myself. And I knew it from a very young age. I recall being in elementary school, being on the playground, and just thinking like, wow, this is such a small town. Everybody's the same. Everything is the same. Everybody thinks the same. There's nothing really interesting here. And I knew that from a young age, from grade school. And so when I got to college, what was in my mind was how to escape from here, how to see and explore and to do things that are different. And whether I realized I was doing it or not, I started to create this sort of picture in my mind or this vision in my mind of what my life would be like once I achieved that goal. And I clearly remember my thought of success. What does success look like? It looked like me being on an airplane, traveling internationally, having the shoes that I liked, and having a bag that I liked. That was really what my idea of success is. Now, you might look at that and think, oh, that's very shallow. It is a very narrow viewpoint. And it's funny when you ask people to do this exercise, which is essentially to envision what does one day in your life look like when you have achieved success? What is different about that day than how you live now? Meaning, where do you go to eat? Who are you with? How do you feel? What are you doing during the day? Where do you sleep? All of those things may seem very superficial, but the reality is that that is what we're drawn to. There's something about that you like. And so for me, that's exactly what it was. I wanted to fly. I wanted to fly business class, have nice shoes, have a nice bag. And also I think I envisioned reading Financial Times, which is my favorite newspaper at the time. And that was just kind of what I thought of. And those details really drew me in. And so I think what I did subconsciously is I simply moved towards that. Now, how did I move towards that? The way that I look at this is that setting goals isn't just about writing down what you hope to achieve. It's about creating actionable, realistic steps to get there. And it's about making conscious decisions to move you towards that ideal lifestyle that you've envisioned. So start with the end in mind, which is your vision, and then break down your big vision into smaller, manageable milestones. So I always like to say a goal without a plan is just a wish. And so the main question, and I think what people really struggle with, is the how do I get there? So it's all in the small steps. It's actually in the decisions that you make every single day. So another example of this right now is my goal as I pivot away from the practice of law towards the business side of things, whether it is building Barely Blockchain, this online educational platform to teach lawyers about Web3, or it's becoming a full-time podcaster, writing my book. It's not like I can just snap my fingers and then overnight that will happen and I will be there. No, it's about every day. What are the choices that I have to make? And is that choice supporting the end goal? And I'm going to stick with that strategy. It has worked for me throughout my life. It's taken me from someplace very, very far away to where I am now. And I think it's a reliable strategy. It's set a vision, be very detailed about what it is that you want, what your day looks like, how you feel, who you're with, be very detailed about that. And then over a period of time, continue to make choices that support that. Another example of this is that if you want to lose weight, if you want to lose maybe like 50 pounds, okay, well, that can't happen overnight. So what can you do now to support that? And that's making small, healthy choices every single day. And I also think another reason that people struggle with this is because it takes time. It's not something that you can snap your fingers and it will happen. And there's no secret recipe to get you there faster. It's about having that intention and commitment and consistency to get you where you want to be. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I encourage you to reflect on your own professional and personal aspirations. What's your vision? How will you get there? It's really something that even if you don't have a big, lofty dream today, I think everyone has something inside of them that they would like to experience or they would like to try. And so I challenge you this week, do not let yourself off the hook on this one. Identify one big lofty vision or even a small one, what it is and how you'll get there. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on LinkedIn at Jamilia Grier. Until then, have a great week ahead. Next week, we will be talking about resilience, how to keep pushing forward even when the odds seem stacked against you. So don't forget to subscribe for more insights every Monday. Until next time, keep charging ahead and make your mark. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. I appreciate when you guys tune in and the time that you take to listen to the show and support us. And I have one thing that I'd love for you to do that would really help us out, which is rate the show. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you rate it. You can do it on whatever platform you're listening on. That would do wonders for us. And if you really want to be a super fan and really support the show, there's a link below that you can support us and donate a small monthly contribution, which allows us to continue to create great content for you. Thanks so much again. Appreciate you and see you next time.